The Miami Dolphins are my favorite football team because my dad was always a huge Miami Dolphins fan. So growing up, and my dad would always talk about like Dan Marino and Don Shula, who's the winningest head football coach of all time. The only undefeated team in the history of the NFL. So growing up, I was always a Dolphins fan because my dad was. So that's why, even though I've only ever been to Florida like twice. Well, my favorite song relating to just football in general, it's by Hank Williams Jr. I think it's called All My Rowdy Friends. It's the song that comes on before Monday Night Football, like the old song that came on before Monday Night Football, before all that Celine Dion garbage. Like, I don't really need scantily clad women in my football. Like, when I was younger, and whenever we would watch Monday Night Football, we would always like crank up the TV. So Hank Williams, he would always do, like, it was the, "Are you ready for some football?" So that song's awesome. My favorite thing that the Dolphins have ever done, a lot of Dolphins fans would probably say the undefeated season in 1972, but I think my favorite thing was in 2008, going from 1-15, which is one of the worst records in NFL history, and then a year later going 11-5. It was the greatest single season turnaround in NFL history. They went from only 1 win to 11 wins in just 1 year. So that's probably my favorite Dolphins moment, or like Dolphins memory in general. My favorite thing they ever did.
Reached out, fell short, now you're hurt, too many words.
Another song that reminds me of the Dolphins is "Too Many Words" by Sick Puppies. Probably like my favorite song during the football season of 2008, and it's kind of like a harder song. It's a little bit more angry. So I would always work at 4 o'clock at Belleria on Sunday nights. So as I was driving to work after a loss, I'd be like rocking out to "Too Many Words" by Sick Puppies because I like to listen to angry music when I'm angry. So it worked out pretty well. When the Dolphins lose or win, it pretty much like affects my whole day. But when they win, it's like in 2007. Going back to that, when we won that one game that year, you would have thought that, like, the way my dad, my brother, and I were celebrating, you would have thought that we had just like won the Super Bowl or won the lottery or something. I will always love the Dolphins. And it's really weird because being a fan of a sport, it's like the only thing that you would ever, it's the only thing that's always constant. I would never buy a product, like I would never buy a certain brand laptop, and if it sucked, I wouldn't buy that brand laptop again. Sports teams are the only thing that you kind of have like unconditional love for. No matter how bad they are, how bad they can get, they're one of those things where you always go back to them. I have a tradition where I wear my Dolphins stuff, my jersey and a hat or whatever, every single Friday before a game. So even in 2007, when they were 0-7 and 0-12 and all those things, I still would wear my Dolphins apparel. So no matter how many times the Dolphins disappoint me or whatever, I always seem to go back to them, and I think I probably always will.
About for Monday night.